Alright, I think we are rolling and the voice seems to be good as well. It's now day 2 of vlogging and today is pull day. That includes front lever training, 1 on front lever pull-ups, Victorian, and we're gonna end it with some weighted pull-ups as well. So some reps in there and I think it's gonna be pretty damn interesting. And everything is gonna be on rings except for the Victorian. That one is extremely hard to do on rings because you have to be super wide grip and I'm not there yet, so I will do that one on pallets, but the rest is gonna be on rings like normal because that's where I want to progress in. And for today I just arrived from school, and one thing I think about is no matter how shitty the day is, today was pretty long and I am pretty exhausted, not gonna lie. But every time I go to the gym, I neutralize everything that has happened today, unless it's a good thing. So even if I'm tired, when I'm in the gym or when I'm on my way to the gym, I try to just go away from all the feelings and always enter the gym with the mindset like, I'm gonna fucking slay this session, no matter what the day is or circumstances. Unless it's a good thing. Like if you're like, damn, I'm so motivated, then use it to your advantage. But otherwise, just, you know, come there and do your best no matter what has happened in the day. So today I'm expecting pretty good workout. I had good food today as well, super important. The sleep was decent. Probably one of the things I lack the most is sleep. I eat pretty good, but when it comes to sleep, I'm not always getting my 8 hours due to me coming home late and starting school early and stuff. So that's something I have to improve. Sometimes in the nights as well, you start scrolling on like TikTok or Instagram and you're stuck there for a while. It's pretty bad. So that's what I'm working on right now, getting more sleep, because that's also a huge factor. Usually it's either sleep, your food, or something with training. If you're not getting progress and you're doing most things right, just check those 3 things, and if one of them is lacking, that can have a huge problem. But with that being said, I think it's time to hit the gym. I will not film the warm-up today, so we get into the action directly. Let's go. First up for today is gonna be front lever pull-ups in the rings. Even here I'm using the 10 to 30 kg resistance band just to make sure I get the 8 reps. And the goal for this week is gonna be to, all the sessions I will maintain the same reps, same sets, same intensity. And then next week I would change something, progressive overload. So either add some reps to all the exercises or add some sets. But let's kill it. Oops. So 8 reps for this one. It's gonna be same for the rest of the sets, I think. And you may think this exercise actually is the same as with bars, but even though it's front lever, it is still way harder on rings than you just doing a straight bar. And the reason is because when we pull to straight bar, there's a limit on how far we can go. But with the rings, we can always push even further, so the pull-ups are actually gonna be even higher, targeting sort of almost new muscles, you know, entering almost Victorian. And that's why these ones are really good. So if you really want to push it, you can go as far up as possible, and that's going to make it even harder. On to the second set on the front lever pull-ups. In general, in front lever, what I like to think about when I do the hold is almost to think like the hips should just go as high as possible. So it should think like you're in a almost hollow body shape. And thinking so, it means that you're pushing, sort of using the right muscles and thereby having a pretty decent form. But with that being said, let's kill this set. Oh, this kills your ego so fast. First reps are super easy, and then fast it goes downhill. The third and final set. something that may be obvious to a calisthenics person, but maybe not to beginners, is in general in front lever as well, you want to have the chest pushed upwards as much as possible and shoulders backwards. Whereas in planche you want the protraction, it's like retraction I think it's called. And this position you want to hold throughout the whole pull-up as well. So that's another thing I think about. But let's do it, the third and final set. Whoa, start moving. Wow. All right, we are done. That one is a true painkiller. It's almost like doing rows where you really feel in the back. So sort of a nice exercise. It feels like you're actually working out. Next one is gonna be one arm front lever. That's up next, and then after that is the Victorian. There we have it. Next up is the one arm front lever. And that one is hilarious to do on rings because it's so damn hard to stay still. I'm gonna do it 8 seconds each arm. That's the goal. 3 sets here as well. And my strongest arm is the right arm, so I start with that one the first set, just feel how it is. Then I do the other arm directly, then I take a rest, and then I will do this arm to start off with, and I do switch between those, so I have a fresh arm for each of them, if that makes sense. And yeah, in general, I am pretty damn low to the ground. One reason is because if I put these ones on the same height all the time, and I'm pretty close, I know that if I'm losing the form, I'm gonna start touching the ground. And that means I might have to take a thicker band, or I think that's gonna be the best thing actually. Take a thicker band and make sure the form is good. So that's why we'll be pretty close to the ground. But no more talking, let's do it. Okay, that's one arm. Cheers. This one is forever gonna be extremely exhausting. I mean, one arm normally it's really hard. Rings it's even harder. When you start spinning, it just gets even worse. But in general that was around 8 seconds, so pretty decent. Hopefully I can do it for 3 sets, we'll see. On to the second set, and this time I will start with the left arm, my weak one. You can probably see a big difference in form. Left one is just, I don't feel the same connection. So always in competition, I always do it with one arm. Of course, you could get some more points if you do it with both. But I know it's not something I've been focusing on, because usually you just do one arm, get that point, and then you focus on something else. But I still train both of them because I do want to have sort of a symmetric strength, and this exercise also will help for normal front lever. So if I'm training both sides, the normal one is also going to be, you know, getting benefits from it. A little bit of false grip. Okay, just one more set of this one, then we're moving on. I'm actually gonna do this one without shirt just to see how the form is for the final one. Hopefully it's pretty decent, and then we can make it a little bit harder for next week. I hope you hear that. Didn't have the mic on. And now start again with the right arm. Definitely a bit weak in the left one, which is no surprise, not my strongest at all. But we're working both. Hopefully it's getting better. And like I said, I really want to have a good form. So that if I do things just to make sure that it's actually maintaining it. Now in the last set I did feel a touch with the ground. So I just pulled it a little bit harder, held it for 2 more seconds. But if the ground wasn't there, my body would probably have leaned down more, even more, and doing so having bad form. So sometimes it's smart to just do small things to correct yourself, especially if you're training alone. Now I'm obviously filming everything so I can go back, but usually don't do it every time. Maybe if I think something's really off, I will check it, but otherwise just have these small things that you can correct it directly. Now it's time for Victorian, but that's gonna be on P-bars because I'm not strong enough for the rings. This has been one of my weak spots for a while, so I've actually added a bit more Victorian training in general. I do freestyle training 2 times per week. That's when we do spins and flips and everything. And after these sessions, I do 3 different exercises just to strengthen this specific skill. So that's after freestyle. And then today during front lever or pull workouts, I do assisted holds just to really get the feeling of the movement and a lot of, you know, muscle memory. So that's the plan now as well. Can probably guess how many seconds? 8. And 3 sets here as well. And then hopefully next week we can add, so we have progressive overload. So next week hopefully I will do 10 second holds on everything, keep the reps and the intensity, and then we move on from there. Let's hit this first set. Oof. Extremely hard. The weakness is that this one is, you know, in front lever you have to have the chest up, but here's like even way more. Like I'm pushing everything that I got. Lasts for like 4 seconds. And then I start slowly fall down, and it's just holding it, trying to get these 8 seconds. And also trying to keep the hips pretty high up, because you see that the bum is going down, losing form. But I think that was a decent start. If you're wondering how I'm counting or how I know it's 8 seconds, I'm just counting in my head. So it's not the most accurate, but it's a bit too hard to have like a timer or something because it's so small, and like when I'm in the position should I be looking over there. So that's why I'm just counting in my head, trying to keep it consistent, and I think that's gonna be good enough. Ooh. You know it's heavy when you start to shake like crazy. Oh, it's a battle getting out of the resistance bands. And that was the second set. Feels pretty good. Just doing a bit more Victorian training over the last like 2 weeks has benefited me a lot. And what I mean when I train extra, it's just doing strengthening skills or workouts just to get like activate those muscles. So it's not me doing holds and stuff like that, but it's more like doing raises. I'm doing one where I'm laying on the back, using dumbbells, just pressing back here. And that's building strength,
but the muscle connection you sort of need to do a actually hold. And that's why I love using resistance bands, because it can be in that position for a long time. The same if you're training planche and stuff, you can be extremely strong in shoulders and in core and everything, but if you've never been in planche position, your body's not gonna know how to use these muscles to actually be there. So that's why I recommend training both strength and do like shoulder press and stuff. It's gonna build some good shoulders, but also combine it with some skill training where you get muscle memory and connection. Final one. Let's see if we can keep the good form. I'm happy with that. I think this band and the time is perfect at the moment. So 3 sets, all of them pretty solid form, I think. Feeling good connection, especially in the lats, doing this push one. So yeah, satisfied. Final ring exercise for today is gonna be top front lever hold. And I wouldn't be surprised if I started shaking in the end, because holding a static position with bent arms and everything, it's extremely hard, especially on rings since they're moving. The same procedure here, 8 reps or 8 seconds and 3 sets. Oh yes, definitely some shakiness. This one is hard. If you compare it to a static bar, then you have something to actually push against, but here it's just free movement. Maybe I should go up into a reverse planche or something. But in general, really hard exercise. One more of this bad boy. And what I think about in this one is just literally pulling as hard as possible. Like I said before, and with a straight bar, you actually have something to go up against, but here it's like, you're just pulling as hard as you can and then you're draining yourself out. So that's why it's really hard, because there's no really knowledge of how hard should you like pull. It's just pull as hard as you can, hold that for as long as you can. And for me, that's about 8 seconds. Just as hard this time. Final set, I put the camera to the side just so we can see how the form is on the last one. I know the form is good in the beginning, but goes downhill pretty fast. False grip like crazy. Glad we're done with this one. It is so damn hard. And it's just weird as well. All static movement is like not doing so much, but still the whole body just shuts down. Now I think the final one is gonna be some weighted pull-ups, because this was the last one on rings, and I think ending with weighted pull-ups is gonna be pretty good. On to the weighted dips, and here I'm actually gonna start off with some ego lifting. I got myself 2 20 kg plates, so that's 40 kg, and the aim is gonna be 8 reps. To be honest, I haven't trained weighted pull-ups for that long, so I don't really know which level I'm at. But I think 40 is going to be a good limit to start, or a level to start off at. And depending on if I succeed with this set, I will either continue next set with the same weight or increase it, or maybe decrease it as well. Probably decrease if I'm weak. Put on some godly music. Yeah, key point. Heavy. That were 8 reps, but barely. So I'll probably do 40 for next one, might drop it for the third and final set. I'm gonna stick with 40 for this second set as well, and try to do the reps a bit quicker. The longer you hold on to the bar, the harder it's gonna be as well. So quicker reps, hopefully get 8 ones for this one too. Two more. That's better. Speed has a lot to do with it. Of course, the slower you do it, the better it's gonna be, but if you do it like this, at least you get 8 reps. Moving on to the third set for this exercise and also the final one for today. After this, I'm done. And I'm continuing with 40 kg for this one as well. Aiming for 8. Might be 7, but 8 is a goal. And then next week, I think for the reps I'm gonna stick with 8, but for the progressive overload, I'm probably gonna either increase it, very small, maybe 2.5 kg, and maintain 8 reps. That was pretty good. 8 solid reps. Maybe not a shin over the bar on all of them, but still some good ones. So that's gonna be it for the workout video, and I'm not gonna end it with a small flex today. I'm actually gonna do a ice bath with a friend of mine. We try to do it once per week now. Some people have been sick from time to time, so haven't been that consistent. But usually we try to get 1 ice bath per week, and that's tonight. So I thought I would just bring you guys to it, and basically just a 3-minute ice bath, some sauna as well, but it's gonna be pretty damn quick. There we have it. I'll see you at the lake. All right, so we just arrived to the sauna, and like you can barely see it, but the lake is over there. The sauna is a pretty small one, but extremely cozy. So we'll start by just lighting up the fire, getting that one warm, and then we can actually check. I don't know if this is not gonna be good at all. But let's check how the ice looks. So the clock is, I think it's around 9 now in the evening. But the moon is pretty damn huge. So might not even need lights. Only reason I'm gonna have it is we can actually see what I'm filming. But this is the place we're gonna ice bath. And from the looks, we're gonna have to make the hole open again, because we haven't been here in a few weeks and the ice is already there. But in general, this is extremely beautiful. Now you can't see anything probably on the camera, but the view is pretty damn nice. But like I said, let's open up that ice. Yeah, I think that's solid. Just in case, I'm gonna leave my phone up here and the rest of the things. I mean, we did ice bath a while ago, so it shouldn't be like as thick as the rest of the lake, but you never know. Holy shit. it is gonna be hard. That's about like 15 centimeters. Holy crap. Workout just to get this one open. So Daniel just called and interrupted the filming. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna let you guys watch me when I try to get this ice open. I'm probably gonna spend a few minutes doing it. So when I get it open, I think I will see you then. Oh, I even had to take off the shirt because I became so warm. So about 10 minutes later, not too bad. And I got this big chunk off, and this is pretty satisfying. Just get it under the ice. It is so damn thick. The ice. I'm gonna try to do a bit more so we can actually get the stairs all the way down, but this is a good start. This is looking good. And here's the thing, even though it's ice in the water actually isn't, you know, 0 degrees. Probably around 3 or 4. Maybe 3 right there. So not too bad. But if you're in salt water, this can be different. If you have a lot of salt, it freezes at different temperature and it's way colder, because then the water can, you know, almost go down to 0. And there's the last chunk. And with that being said, it's time for some sauna, and then I'll see you here when it's actually time to get in the ice bath. Let's go. Snyggt. Still good. It is time. And the Crocs are in speed mode, so I don't lose them in the water. I put my timer on 3 minutes. That's gonna be enough for today. Could do longer, but the reality is also that I did train just before this, and if you have a slight pump in the body, it is even worse. Ooh. And believe me, every time, the first time you get in, it sucks. And then it usually takes like maybe maximum 1 minute to get into it if you're a bit used to it. Probably done it about, I don't know, maybe 30 times this winter at least. It's crazy. Always sucks in the beginning, but then you really start to enjoy it. And for me, it's sort of different stages. The first stage is obviously to get in, and that's really painful. And then when you start to focus on the breathing and you sort of find the mood, it becomes a bit better. And it stays like that for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Then it becomes painful again. And if you fight that one, that's probably around like 3 to 4 minutes for me. But after that, that's when the like magic happens. It sort of feels like you're in the sauna. It's super weird, but it starts to feel like it's really warm in water. I don't know why it is, but it's a weird reaction for the body. So then you really enjoy it. And that will last, or for me it lasts for at least up to 10 minutes. Then I start shaking, and that's a sign it's probably soon to get up. You can sit, of course, there for a while. It's not that dangerous, but I usually don't stay for more than, 10 minutes. Just gotta turn off the notifications. And if you're doing this as well, I recommend not having like me and watching the timer, because when you start to watch it, it's like you see it counting down. It's not that good. It's distracting. You may wonder how I can sit there and just talk normally. And the reality is, for me, or in general, you need to just have focus on something. So now I'm focused on talking. It sort of takes away the focus from the pain. But if I wouldn't have the camera, I would just focus on breathing. Because as long as you're not thinking about you actually sitting in ice cold water, it's pretty fine. And the reality is that I don't do this for health reasons. You may think that because I'm into fitness and everything, but it's literally just for the mind. Training and being like in a super harsh environment And then I know I can just leave at any point, but I don't. I just stay here. That mindset can be literally applied to anything. You know, you have a task, maybe you have a workout, absolutely sucks, but you get just the mentality that you keep pushing through it even though it's painful as fuck, and you know, sorry, so that's 3 minutes, gonna stay a little bit more, but it's painful as fuck, but you know that, you know, if you stay here, you're gonna grow, and you know, this mentality has helped me a lot. I definitely think in general my gym journey, this has helped. Running in the summer is another way to like simulate this thing, because I suck at running. So when I run, I know that I could quit at any point, but I literally just keep running even though it's painful as fuck. But then afterwards it feels good and you're like, damn, I'm gonna fucking do it again. And that sort of, you know, just build this winning mentality. Just keep pushing even though it's fucked up. But I think this is about 3.5 minutes. Pretty decent. And like I said, I've done this a lot, so I'm used to it. But if you're trying this, maybe start around 2 minutes and really focus on the breathing, because when you get that right, the rest of it's gonna solve itself. Oh yeah.
She's on fire. She's on fire.
Okay, there we have it.
Camera because that's I can take.
Oh, you wanna hold it? Thank you. All right. I am actually shaking right now. It's pretty damn cold. But I'm just gonna do the outro here. Today was a bit different. We had the gym and then we had the ice bath now as well. This is the first ice bath I do, but definitely not the last one. Oh, it's cold. So I will do this more times, especially if you guys enjoy it. And if you want, you can drop some questions in the comments if there's something you want me to talk about or something you want to see. But that's gonna be it for today. Ciao, ciao. Now I'm going to the sauna and heat up.